Hey there, AC3 here. I just wanted to make a video talking about a big project I have upcoming that I want to start working on. Also, a quick disclaimer, the footage above is for my alt account, which is why it seems like I don't really have levels. I actually play Block Party a lot. But this has to do with why I've renamed my channel to AC3 Animates, of I'm starting an animated show. I know it's a little surprising because I'm most likely going to stop doing gaming content in general, which is why most of my gaming videos are now down. And so I'm a little nervous to announce this because I don't know how it's going to be taken by the internet slash the two people that are going to watch, which are probably my two best friends because, well, I'm mostly making this video just to try draw a little bit more attention to this animated show, give a little bit of backstory to some of the things that won't be explained in the first episode, which hopefully, potentially, with the animating process, it is just me animating, so hopefully at some point I can start speeding up the process, but it's taking a bit. It's not going to be the highest quality animation. It is the second thing I'm animating. Sorry, I'm all over the place because normally I would write a script for something like this, but I decided to make it seem a lot more genuine. I wasn't going to script it this time. I'm just trying to draw a little bit more attention to the upcoming thing that I'm making, just that I don't post it with two people saying it, because I feel like then it's just a waste of a bunch of effort, even though I know it's going to be a lot more than two people, as a lot of my friends that are in the show want to watch it because they don't know what the animation's going to look like yet. Sorry, I'm really out of breath right now. But, so I want to give a little backstory. So the show is going to be called The Star Circus. It's going to be based around the main character named Cosmo. Now, Cosmo was born a normal child, but eventually, after a couple of things that I won't say because they will reveal a lot about the show. But after a couple of things happen, he ends up gaining the ability to go through different dimensions, different universes, things like that. And so he ends up meeting a bunch of other people that also have this magic power type thing, and they all end up starting a circus, hence the name, the Star Circus. And so we get to see a lot of interactions between a bunch of the main cast and so forth. Now, one thing that I'm really proud of with this show is that before we meet the main cast, they don't have serious backstory or serious trauma, except for one of the characters, which isn't even in the first episode. Don't think he's even in the first multiple. But most of the main cast doesn't have trauma until the events of the show. So it's meant to be more similar to real life. Because in real life, I don't meet people that often that have these big backstories and they're all oh my gosh, my parents died and then this happened and then that. It's they're living a pretty normal life. And so I'm hoping to do a similar thing with the other characters. But it's not gonna be a lot of fun if it's just a story about a bunch of untraumatized characters, so I'm gonna traumatize them. But it's gonna be all on screen, and if it's not, then it will at some point be explained. I'm hoping to do episodes themed around certain characters instead of just focusing the main character the whole way through. You will get backstory, you will get like episodes singling out certain characters and things. This is this has 12 minutes left and I don't know what else to say without spoiling the entire show. But basically the voice actors, most of them or some of them repeat throughout different characters, such as I'm not going to name that character because he's important later on, but I voice a certain character and Cosmo, which is the main character, while one of my friends voices a guy named Felix and a non-binary person named Jordan, and so forth. Some of the voice actors repeat, some of them don't. One of the main reasons that this is going to take a long time is I am still in school. I'm still learning to animate and so forth. There's a lot of factors that are in between me and finishing this show within the span of a month. Now, if I sat there and was determined the whole time for the multiple hours that, like, I'm alive and, like, awake, for the multiple hours a day, if I focused on, I could probably finish an animation within a week. But that's not how my brain works. So I'll sit there for an hour, draw, do a couple frames or like outlines of frames, and then I'll be like, you know what, I'm bored. Let's go do something else. Good, and then I'll go do something else for multiple hours, and then come back and I'm like, oh, you know, I should do this, but I'm not feeling like it, so I'm just gonna go draw art of the characters instead, and so forth. So don't expect the highest quality animation. Me personally, I think it's looking really well. Now, not professionally made, for sure not, but it also doesn't look that rushed through, I would say. It's looking pretty good, and I'm really excited just to really show off this animated show. If I have good art by the time that this video comes out, I might put like a picture of the main character on the screen whenever I talk about him, just because I feel like it's gonna make for a better story if you know who you're looking at as the main character. As I'm trying to focus on a lot of the characters instead of just hard focusing Cosmo. Sorry, yet again, really out of breath, don't know why. Should probably drink water, but you know, I will do. But like, I'm trying to focus on more characters than just Cosmo. I'm trying to give more like explanation to things other than just what Cosmo like knows and what Cosmo goes through. So the audience definitely knows a lot more than the main cast. And so the Star Circus, which is where it takes place, basically. The ringmaster Jordan, the non-binary person I mentioned earlier, they ended up starting a circus and started to invite all of these other characters and all of these other figures and all of that. I say figures as if they're like popular, they're not. Like no one who knew who they were until they joined the circus. But it is like, I think some of the scenes in the future episodes are going to be graphic, to say the least. Like, it's not going to be a colorful show for like 5-year-olds. It's, I would say, much more raging towards not an older audience, but like maybe like teenagers. I would personally say like aging towards teenagers because it won't be like too graphic to the point where it's like blood and a bunch of gore, but there will be blood and some implied gore. But yeah, again, you have to realize I'm personally animating this, and I personally would rather not draw a decaying body. So, God, the gameplay just got really laggy there for a second. My bad. But man, I don't know what else to talk about. I've still got like 8 minutes left of this recording. So I think I'm just gonna go over a little bit of like characters' not backstories. Like I said, they don't have trauma, so it's not very much I could go into. But just introducing the main cast. So of course we have the main character, whose name is Cosmo. Then we have Cosmo's love interest, which is a guy named Helios. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He is named after a Greek god, so you know. Then we have Kate, and then Donna. I will hopefully insert pictures of them, or like a drawing of them, because you know they're not real people, but like drawings of them will saying their names. And then we have Jordan, the ringmaster. I will always like talk about them like that because that is one of their main roles. Then we have Stefan. Sorry, I'm trying to remember all the names off the top of my head. There's a good chunk of them. Then we have Nino. And then Eric, Felix, Kyle. Trying to think of other like people. I'm trying to, Stacy. Sorry, I've just like completely forgotten about her. But there's also, just to give a little context, there's these people called the MPK. So it stands for the Multiverse Peacekeepers. I know it's kind of cringe, but I couldn't come up with a better name, so they are hereby the MPK. And they stand to protect the universe from anomalies or things that shouldn't happen in them. Such as let's take something like Frozen. One of the big canon events is that Elsa has ice powers and she doesn't know how to like control them near the beginning of the movie. Well, let's say Cosmo was to go into the Frozen universe and he was to teach her how to use them. That would be stopping an important event from happening that would change the course of the universe. Therefore, the MPK would get involved in that scenario, and so forth. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to blur that notification. I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, I just rather not people see everything, so. Sorry, I'm like really, really out of breath, and I don't know why. It's probably just like the nerves, because I'm also recording this. Yeah, just recording makes me a little nervous, because I don't want to have to explain to people why I'm talking to myself in my room. But so that's all I could really think about as to like explain with the Star Circus. I don't know what else to talk about without like spoiling the entire show because there's so many things I want to say, but I can't because I want to save them for like later on when people do end up watching the show at some point. And hopefully, I will be making a lot more videos to do with like characters and character designs and just going more in depth on certain characters, maybe on like YouTube shorts or things. I'm thinking if I just include the audio from the normal thing, but I'm pretty sure I'm yapping about the exact same thing. I just don't like how I worded it, and I was talking really quietly because I was downstairs in front of some of my family, and like I didn't want them to think I was crazy, even though I do already think some of them do, because my mother finds it weird I talk to myself sometimes. But that is where I think I'm going to end it. So stay tuned about more news to do at the Star Circus, just as like little things. So, I guess bye. Don't know how to edit videos very well, so